Good evening, folks. We're going to call the October 28th Development Review Board meeting to order. First order of business is roll call. All members are present. Next on the agenda, we're going to open the recess
recording in progress
for Greg Moriello and Janet Johnson. This was in regards to a stream alteration permit that they had tried to pursue with the state. We did receive a notification from the applicants that they wish to withdraw their application. Does the board have anything further to add? Okay, I make a motion that we close the hearing.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? Is there anything on Zoom?
Oh, hang on. Negative.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Let's have it. Next on the agenda, we're going to open the recess public hearing for Shaw's Supermarket. Is there someone on behalf of Shaw's to provide an update today? Just as a discussion, there was a letter sent from myself to William Faraday about the extension request that the board had decided to grant per the request. So that document is in the file folder there along with some emails. Does the board have any questions in regards to that?
We heard back from them.
Yes. So part of the letter outlined that they'd be talking to Brendan with a weekly update. So there is at least a communication from about that.
See, they added Brendan to the email train.
Yep. So we can check in with Brendan, see if we can have him add any notes or emails in addition as well. Yep, they did receive and respond, and they've also started construction as well. We did do a site visit there as well. So, any other things from the board in regards to this one?
No.
I make a motion that we recess this hearing until next month.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Okay, Jared, anything on Zoom?
Nothing.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. Next, we're going to open a new public hearing for Steve Myers. Go ahead, Jared.
This is application number SUB 24-012. The applicant is Steve Myers. Property owner is the same. The project description is to subdivide one 1.3 acre lot into two lots. This project is in the Village Residential District 2 district, a new district. Hearing date is today, October 28th, 2024, 6 p.m. Public postings were at the town clerk's office, town hall bulletin boards on October 11th, 2024, at the post office and town website on October 18th, 2024, and then in the newspaper of record, the Vermont Journal on September 25th, 2024, and the abutting property owners were notified on September 27th, 2024. Jordan.
Thanks, Jared. Is there someone here to speak on behalf of this application today? Please raise your right hand. I will administer the oath. Do you solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give relative to the matter now under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury? I do.
I do.
Okay. Come on up to the podium and tell us about your project. And just for the record, can you just say your name first? Thank you.
Steve Myers, 81 Andover Street. My project is just as simple as it sounds, taking a 1.3 acre lot. I pulled off 0.35 acres, leaves me with 0.97 acres on the other parcel. I would like to increase density as the town seems to want to do on most of the zoning meetings I've been to. My parents are getting old and I want to prepare for a place for them to live. I don't plan on renting it, building a very simple house on a slab, on a grade. If I get the subdivision, I have not put in my building application yet. So just here for the subdivision. I have talked to Ron, who said, again, I'm just trying to not spend money before I got the subdivision approved. So Ron said I'd be fine to enter from Parker. I got letters from Chief, from the EMS and the fire department. They all said it didn't have any problems as far as they could see. It's pretty straightforward. I'd probably do better if y'all had questions. I could answer those, but I don't have too much to say to it.
Sure. So first we'll address the access permit. So that is a requirement for the subdivision. So we will need to have that in hand.
Okay, I was told the opposite, but I apologize.
No, that's okay. And being that you already spoke to Ron, so that shouldn't be too hard to acquire.
He said it was 100% fine. He does want me to put in a culvert, but
Yeah, it's one of those things that we just need to kind of check a box, right?
yep.
But that's kind of that was one of the missing documents. Does the board have any questions in regards to the subdivision?
Just if you could try to address the stream, we went up and saw it today. The stream that it goes behind it's on part of that lot?
So I want to say about 15 years ago, a gentleman up towards Hemingway Hill tried to build a duplex in there, and his plan was to go directly over that creek. And I tried to reach out to the State Bureau of Natural Resources to explain, to see if it was legal what he was doing, and they told me that that stream does not exist. I probably have that documentation somewhere in a desk, but it told me it does not. It's not a stream. It's runoff.
Where does it originate from?
I believe it comes down Hemingway Hill on the side where they just built that new big house up there.
So it crosses your lot 1 where your house is.
Yes.
How does where does it enter that lot?
It enters that lot from the lot next door, which is owned by Ryan Koch. I forget how he pronounces it. I think it's Koch. Comes down, it's riprap filled off of Hemingway Hill, takes a left, goes in front of the little house at the bottom of Hemingway Hill, and then goes through the back of mine and exits into a culvert at the back of the back side of the property by Parker.
Does it dry up?
Yeah,
Was it a problem during the floods?
not at all.
So it's not carrying a
It's
deal of water?
I think it's just the water that comes off the hill, groundwater. It's muddy at all times, but most times there's not water in it.
Any other questions from the board?
No. So it starts on this guy's property.
Yeah, this here. So he says
In front of the little tan house at the bottom of Hemingway, I believe
Yeah, this
it.
says Norman Koch. Is that the property it comes off of?
I believe it's either that might have been his parents, but it's come, at least through talking to them, it's come into one of the sons.
Okay, thank you.
In front of that house where they have that stacked boulder wall, I think it's underground at that point, or it might be riprap that's just grown over at this point. I don't really know. It just kind of starts.
Okay.
Most of it seems to come off that very steep bank. I think it's just water running down that.
So just going through your to serve letters, the only one that has, or there's, the chief has no conditions, and then under the ambulance, are you familiar with those conditions?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I'm just gonna read those off for the record. Request that the residents be numbered with an E911 guidelines with numbers and reflective, visible from the street. Any individual units will have visible numbers from the outside of the unit. Entrances and exits need to remain clear with ample room for equipment and personnel in the event of emergency. And then under the fire department guidelines, that any future construction shall be permitted prior to construction.
Again, I just was kind of waiting to see your decision before I tried to go forward with spending any more money on permitting and things, but what I am planning is well within the setbacks and simple as pie, and I already have my wastewater and water allocation done through as well.
So this will have a Parker Avenue address?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Is there anything on Zoom, Jared? No. Okay. Any other questions from the board?
No.
Okay. So got a couple choices for you in regards to the access permit. Is that if you think that you can achieve it before next month's meeting, we can set a close date that's before then. However, that is the downside that if you do not get that, we would have to reopen your hearing. Or you can wait until next month and bring that forward and as kind of a check in the box. So you do have two choices.
I could get it tomorrow, according to Ron. He was there 2 days ago. Said he'd sign it the second I put it in front of him.
Okay, so if we said next Monday, would that give you enough time?
Next Monday, yes.
Yeah, so what would that date be, Jared?
I mean, I'd be willing to risk this Monday if that works. I'm obviously trying to get some things going before the snow flies, so.
Yeah.
That date is November 4th.
4th. So that would give you enough time to acquire that and submit that to the planning office?
Yeah, I could, like I said, I'm pretty sure I could have it tomorrow.
Okay, what's the board think of that?
I think it's
Okay, then.
fine.
Okay. So I make a motion that we will close this hearing on November 4th, end of business day, 4:30.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion? Anything on Zoom?
I'm getting a notification that won't go away and it's blocking my chat. No.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, appreciate you.
Next, we're going to open a new public hearing for Jeld-Wen Inc. Go ahead, Jared.
This is application number 113-97-CU, amendment number 1, and 498-24-Act 250. Applicant is Jeld-Wen Incorporated. Property owner is Ryan LLC. The application is to construct a 12-foot by 40-foot addition to the front of the building to be used as a lunchroom. This project is in the industrial district. Hearing date is today, October 28th, 2024, at 6 p.m. Public postings were at the town clerk's office, town hall bulletin boards on October 11th, 2024, and at the post office and town website on October 18th, 2024. Newspaper of record, Vermont Journal, on September 25th, 2024, and the property owners were notified, or the abutting property owners were notified on October 2nd, 2024.
Thanks, Jared. Is there someone here to speak to this application? Okay, so for those who wish to speak to this application, I will administer the oath. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give relative to the matter now under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury? I do. Okay, come on up to the podium and tell us about your project. Please state your name first for the record. Thank you. And tell us about your project.
Sure. So the building right now, the front break room isn't really adequate for the number of employees that we have. What we're proposing is just to add an addition onto the front of the building. It basically doubles the size of the current break room, and that's about it.
Questions from the board?
Is the wall between going to be taken out?
No, the wall's going to stay.
Are you having any outside lighting on this?
Well, yes, there will be a light on the front, but it won't be any different from the lights that are already there.
Is it going to be like on the soapstone side? Those aren't down-facing lights, they shine right straight into my house.
We can get that fixed for you.
There's two of them that do that.
Yeah, we've actually, that's a funny side-related story, but Royal Electric Group is actually going to be there before the end of the year. We're redoing the lights all the way around the building. So we'll make sure they're not.
I just didn't want any more shining in.
Fair enough.
Ludlow's adopted a night sky, dark sky policy. So all projects coming through now, you know, we're looking at downward lighting, reducing glare, that sort of thing.
Sure.
So when you put those particular lights up, that was prior to that policy. So if you could help us in that regard and shield them down, you know, still have your safety lights, but
Yep.
not as poof, you know.
Yeah. Be happy
They
to.
only bother me in the winter.
Fair enough.
So we do have your 2 serve letters. Did you see those and familiar with those?
The fire department letter, the police letter.
ambulance.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So of those, only the fire department has some conditions. So we're just going to read those off for the record. A permit is required from Vermont Division of Fire and Safety. Sprinkler coverage must be extended into the new addition. Ceiling of the new addition must have 5/8 fire code sheetrock. Since this is a new commercial structure, a 35 cents per square foot fire impact fee is required to the Town of Ludlow Fire Department Equipment Fund, and those are his conditions. Have any questions in regards to those?
No.
Okay. And we do have your Division of Fire and Safety permit here. Any other questions from the board?
No, it doesn't matter, that's Pete Galinda that wrote that letter.
Yes, it was. I think it was dated before.
It was dated June 16th.
Yep, so that would have been before Ben Whalen took over.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Is there anything on Zoom?
Thank you.
Okay. How many people are you gonna have? Or you said it wasn't adequate for the number of people. Have you increased the number of people, or has
No.
it just always kind of been small?
It's always been
Okay,
that
so
bad. And over the course of, you know, I mean, there's been several plant managers before me, and I'm just trying to do the right thing and get a break room that the gas can actually use.
So how many people do you normally have to accommodate?
So we've got 103 people on payroll right now, split between 2 shifts. We've got breaks offset now. Right now, you can fit probably 12 people in there comfortably. We're looking to at least double that.
Okay.
Not everybody chooses to use the break room. People go to their cars, but I know that there's more people that would use the break room if there was.
If there's more space.
Exactly.
Okay.
Do they do any cooking in there?
Just microwaves.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board?
No.
Okay. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No?
Okay. I make a motion that we close the hearing.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Anything on Zoom, Jared? Nope. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So now that the hearing's closed, the board will have a deliberative session, and we have 45 days to issue you a permit. Next, we're going to open a new public hearing for Stacy T. Malecki, Revocable Trust.
This is application 80-50-CU, amendment number 3. The applicant is Stacy T. Malecki Revocable Trust. Property owner is the same. The application is to construct a doorway to connect unit number 200 and unit number 207. This project is in the Village Residential Commercial District. Hearing date is today, October 28th, 2024, 6 p.m. Public postings were at the Town Clerk's Office, Town Hall bulletin boards on October 11th, 2024, and at the Post Office and Town website on October 18th, 2024. as well as in the newspaper record, the Vermont Journal, on September 25th, 2024, and the abutting property owners were notified on September 27th, 2024. George.
Thanks, Jared. Is there anyone who's here to speak to this hearing this evening? Okay. Raise your right hand and I'll administer the oath. Do you solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give relative to the matter now under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under pains and penalties of perjury? I do. Okay. Come on up to the podium and tell us about your project. State your name first for the record. Thank you.
But I'm here on behalf of Malecki's. So they are looking to just combine unit 200 and 207 by adding in basically just a cased opening doorway between the two units. So the brick wall that is in there now would be demoed out for just the door opening size. It'd be reconstructed with steel and be held up with a girder in the middle. That would be a C-channel bolted together on both sides, and we would just basically trim it back out. And kind of the gist of it.
Any questions from the board?
So currently there's two independent functioning units that are gonna become one. Do you know if they're gonna deed it as one unit?
That I do not know.
Or will it be kept separate deeds? Will it remain two units with just a door between them?
You have to come up to the podium so it catches on the Zoom and the audio recording. And just please state your name first for the record.
I'm Bob Malecki. I co-own the units with my wife Stacy. Either would be fine with us. We basically would like to pass through between, between the two spaces. We would entertain guidance from the DRB in terms of which would be better from the town perspective. We'd like to be able to, we have two units. One of them is going to maintain a full kitchen, has 2 bedrooms and a bath. The other has 1 bedroom and 1 bath. And our plans are to essentially downgrade the kitchen into a coffee bar. So it would have a refrigerator, a small sink, and some countertop and cabinets, but no range, no dishwasher.
Is it going to be used as a lockout?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
You lock the door and then you rent that one?
No, be used as one unit.
Would you have objections for the fire marshal when he
and by the way, we don't rent, so.
Would you have
a door on it either, just so you know.
Would you have objections to the fire chief coming in for an inspection if he felt it was necessary?
Not at all.
Okay.
And it's been approved by the state fire marshal.
Yep, good. We're very concerned about fires with
Yep.
different units. Good.
Other questions from the board?
I have none.
Did you have any comments on this one, Rose?
The only comment I had was Phil Carter just asked if they were going to rent it as a lockout, which is very common. So we don't want to have everybody start doing that.
We have no intention of renting it.
Yeah.
We're there 5 months of the year and it's idle the other time. We're not there.
Yeah, so the point of asking is that trying to figure out how we would treat it as one unit, or are you trying to keep it as 2 units? And it sounds like you're asking for for it to become 1 unit.
1 unit would be fine. We would have to change your condominium documents to have it reflect that, but that's doable.
Because where the regulation that the questions that were asked are regarding to is to like a house, if you had built an apartment in and then you had like a lockout door and that is like a separate, so not like a mother-in-law unit, but like a completely separate entity. So that's where those questions were coming from in those regards to the regulation. But from what you've described is you want it to be treated as one unit. And I think that would probably be the best to treat it as one unit. What's the board's thoughts?
Well, that's what they're bringing
Yeah,
forward.
yeah. So I mean,
It's
that's,
one
yeah,
unit, you know?
yeah. Anything else to add, Rose?
As part of the decision, you might want to have the condo documents
Okay,
amended.
okay. How long do you think it will take to get your condo documents amended?
That's a fairly long process
Okay.
internally, because it requires, obtaining a vote of the membership,
Okay,
all the owners, and they're difficult to track down at times, so I would hate to wait, that could be 2-3 months
okay.
if we started the process now. If there's a way we
we could
wouldn't have
maybe
to
make
wait for
that
that,
as
it would be
a-
appreciated.
We can condition
we
that
could
as something that needs to be
done.
done, but it doesn't have
Okay.
to be done tomorrow.
What's the board's thought on that? Okay. Okay. Any other questions from the board? Do you guys have anything else to add on your project?
I do not, no.
Okay.
All set.
Okay. Is there anything on Zoom, Jared?
No, there is not.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we close this hearing.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a great night. Next, we're going to open up a new public hearing for Divided Sky Foundation Corporation. Go ahead, Jared.
This is application SUB 24-011 and 474-21-CU, amendment number 2. The applicant is Divided Sky Foundation, and the property owner is the same. The project description. Application is for a boundary line adjustment for additional acreage around Fox Run condominiums. The boundary line adjustment is for non-conforming additional acreage around the buildings around Fox Run condominiums. The project is in the Town Residential Commercial 1 District. Hearing date is today, October 28, 2024, 6 p.m. Public postings were at the Town Clerk's Office, Town Hall Bulletin Boards on October 11th, 2024, Post Office and Town website on October 18th, 2024, and in the newspaper Record Vermont Journal, September 25th, 2024, and the abutting property owners were notified on October 2nd, 2024. George.
Thank you, Jared. Do we have someone here to speak on behalf of this hearing today? Okay. I will read you the oath. I think we also have someone on Zoom as well. Did
Do we have a new,
That was.
Chris Roy.
they've been
So
on.
was there someone on Zoom that was here to speak on behalf of this hearing?
David Cooper.
Hi, this is Dave Cooper. I represent Fox Run Homeowners
So
Association,
I'm
but I
just trying to
don't.
make sure we've got all the names and everyone that we're going to
Yep.
swear in and administer the oath. So if you can just raise your right hand on Zoom there, I'll read those off. Thank you. Okay. Do you solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give relative to the matter now under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury? I do.
I do.
So, got a lot of hands. Who's here to speak first? Okay, let's come on up to the podium and tell us your name for the record and tell us about your project.
My name is Eamon Mulligan, and I work for MSK Engineering out of Bennington, Vermont. I am here representing Divided Sky Foundation and Fox Run Homeowners Association. We are coming to the board to ask that you review this project as a boundary line adjustment. The current configuration of the 3 lots, so it's made up of 3 individual lots, one which is owned by Divided Sky Foundation, which consists of roughly 18.6 acres. And then 2 separate properties owned by the Fox Run Homeowners Association, each consist of about 2/10 of an acre. This property was originally developed quite some time ago and was developed as more or less a vacation retreat. As of more recently, the Divided Sky property has been sold and is currently under Divided Sky's ownership and is used as a wellness and recovery program location. Because of the configuration of the 2 Fox Run lots, they really don't have much personal area within or around the existing buildings. We are asking the board to consider the increase of the acreage of these 2 lots, combining them into one, and creating 1 lot that would be owned by Divided Sky and would consist of roughly 16.5 acres, and the remainder being transferred to the Fox Run Homeowners Association, which would now consist of roughly 2.6 acres. Both lots are currently served by an existing shared drive, an existing septic system that's located on adjacent lands, and an existing water source. And we are not proposing any additional development as part of this. It's solely to provide Fox Run with a greater area. And I do have a larger scale plan if anyone would like to review that.
Questions from the board?
How much land are you turning over to the homeowners?
So it would be an increase of, what, 2.2 acres roughly.
Or 2.1?
Going
the numbers you gave.
Going from about 0.39 to 2.63, I believe.
Okay.
So currently, the homeowners, it's a non-complying.
Correct, that is correct.
Non-conforming situation up there. And correct me if I'm wrong, but, and that's because it was built prior to the current zoning regulations.
That is correct, yes.
George?
Go ahead, Rose.
I did receive the letter from Chris Callahan, our attorney on this project. I could read that, and unless you want to have me email it to you and you can look at it.
I think she can read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
Yeah, go ahead, Rose.
Okay, it's a little long, but I'll try to go fast. It says, I have been discussing the proposed lot line adjustment between Divided Sky and Fox Run HOA. I understand that Divided Sky and Fox Run have reached a settlement agreement from a legal dispute. As part of the settlement, Divided Sky has agreed to a lot line adjustment, giving Fox Run 2.63 acres of land. Fox Run consists of 2 condo buildings, each with 6 units. They were built in 1969 before zoning regulations adopted in 1973, thus making them grandfathered on lots that today are otherwise undersized for the density. In zoning terms, they are non-conforming lots. In order to make the Fox Run lot conform to today's regulations, they would need an additional 5.5 acres. The additional 2.63 acres won't bring the Fox Run lot into compliance. The question is, even though the additional 2.63 acres will not bring the Fox Run lot into compliance and therefore conforming, Can the DRB approve the proposed lot line adjustment? The answer is yes, and that is section 261.2A, which provides the answer. Although 261.2A specifically addresses nonconforming uses, and there is no correlation section for nonconforming lots, zoning and planning statutes often refer to them together simply as nonconformities. Therefore, applying the same principle to nonconforming lots as nonconforming uses in section 261.2A in practical terms allows the DRB to change the Fox Run nonconforming lot by adding 2.3 acres to it if, in their opinion, it is no more objectionable in character. The nonconformity is that the lot is too small. Adding 2.63 acres simply makes it less too small. Thus, the board might find it no more objectionable in character as the option for approving the lot line adjustment if they so decide. That's it.
Thank you very much, Rose.
Yep.
Any other questions from the board until before I go to the hands? We had a whole bunch of other hands raised. Okay, so we had a whole bunch of other people, but between Zoom and in the crowd, we had another. Did they wish to say anything?
She does.
Come on up to the podium and tell us your name.
My name is Ellen McCardle. I represent the Fox Run Homeowners Association. And I would just like to say to the board that we really appreciate your interest and hopefully your passing of this. We have had a long road, and with Divided Sky Foundation, if you recall, we were in more of a contentious relationship, and we have really evolved to a relationship of mutual respect and ever-increasing rapport. And so we really believe that this boundary adjustment in the Homeowners Association taking over this larger, slightly larger boundary is a really positive reconciling and a moving forward of neighborly relations. And thank you very much.
Thank you. And I know we had a couple hands on Zoom. Did either of you gentlemen wish to add anything?
No, my name's Chris Roy. I represent Divided Sky, and I think the prior speakers have addressed the key points as well as Mr. Callahan's letter.
Okay. Thank you.
And I'm David Cooper representing the association. I likewise do not have anything further to add unless the board has any questions. Thank you.
Does the board have any other questions?
Just, I think it's already been stated, but there's no construction involved. It's not going to be larger decks. There's not going to be anything changed to the, thank you.
There is no development as part of this project.
I'd heard you say that. I just want to make sure it's on record. Thank you.
Sounds good. Any hands on Zoom, Jared? Okay. I make a motion that we close the hearing.
I'll second.
Okay. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Next on the agenda is the minutes from September 23rd.
I can't help you with those.
Just on the first page, George, I just wanted to correct that Ned Bond's name is, I think it was Ned Bowen. He was here
What
from
page is this?
the very front page.
First page.
The attendance.
On the
Okay.
attendance.
I think it's Ned Bowen. He was
Yeah.
representing the Legion. That day, it's not Bond.
Where?
It's the second pair,
Second column
Oh, I
last.
see it. Ned
On the
Bowen?
Bowen.
Bowen,
Oh,
B-O-W-E-N.
right here.
And I didn't know if anybody had any of the last names. I guess it doesn't matter because they're not referred to later. This Nancy and Karen. I don't know the
Okay.
last names of either of those.
On part 2, it says George Thompson Jr. made the motion. It should be George Tucker.
Where's
That's on the
this?
So
last
that's
one. Number 3.
paragraph 2, number 3.
Section 1, number 1, Town Hall by
They have a
George Tucker.
problem with your name.
Oh, yep.
Okay, got that.
Okay. Anyone else have anything on the first page?
By the way, I do have a copy, so I am recording.
Okay, cool, thank you. Anyone have anything on the next page there?
I didn't have anything there.
Did anyone have anything on the next page?
We're on page 2 right now.
Yep.
Okay, let me make sure.
Number 16,
Okay.
G. Roach Tucker Jr.
Oh, yep.
What did he say? I didn't hear.
So under 16,
Yeah.
my name's misspelled.
Okay.
You might want to change that.
Yeah.
You might want to change your name.
John, yours is, did you say yours is spelled wrong?
Just George. George is spelled
Oh,
wrong.
okay.
Anything else on page 2?
What is DFE?
It's the new DFE. It's 2 feet above basement elevation.
Anyone have anything on page 3?
Just 13, just take the S out of stands. Pam O'Neill takes the stands. I think it's
Okay.
just a stand. She testified
Yep.
on the thing, not very big.
Anything on page 4?
On the first paragraph, line 7 down, O'Neill says the idea of having an externally lit sign has been denied, and she said internally.
Oh,
Yep, it's supposed to be internally.
Supposed to be 8.
Yep.
Externally and lit.
On 15, it's just another, if you can just take the S out of stands, stands.
yeah, on 14 too.
Okay, you have it there too?
On 14, yeah.
Okay, yeah, just, it seems awkward.
Yep.
If that is Patty Corzone, it's Korzon. It's, she was a coworker of mine and I know where she lives.
Is that from 16?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Korzon, not P or
Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
I'll fix it all through.
Anyone have anything else on page 4? Does anyone have anything from page 5?
5, there's just a very simple typo. 4th line down on number 3, convenience storing,
Oh, yep.
the store.
Anyone have anything else on page 5?
I had one on the bottom, where is it?
Okay.
The existing fence. Oh, and it's just my comment on number 10. It says the fencing. I just meant between the property, Isabel Montgomery's property. I wasn't talking about the other fencing. I didn't know if that mattered,
Okay.
It doesn't say where the fence is.
I think that's the only fence that's there.
Is it the one? Okay, then I'm fine with that. I just thought it was where, it didn't say where it was.
So what do you want it to say, Julie?
It's okay then. If that's the only fence.
That's the only
I thought there
fence
was a
that's
fence
in
the
relation
back.
to that project.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure, because
Does anyone have anything on page 6?
on page 6, I just wanted, 17, do you have anything on 17 before on page 6? I just wanted to ask if Phil Carter says it will be just behind the building. I just felt like, I don't think Phil said that. I think he asked if it'd be behind the building.
I think more of the point for 17 is the question you asked, they answer that they would be agreeable to that.
Yes,
It's
that
not
is
noted on here.
Okay, because it says Phil Carter says it will, and Phil wouldn't know that. He wasn't testifying.
So I think is that you asked if there was going to be any other green space, and the answer was no. Phil asked, I think then Phil then regarded that it was behind the building, and they had
Okay, but he
agreed.
just said that, okay, just
Yeah.
sound confusing.
Because they had discussed that they were amenable to that.
Right. On 21, the third line, with fencing, will they demolish the building? It should be, will they demolish?
Yeah, I thought that too. I wrote while.
21.
Oh,
Instead of Will, it'll be Wild.
And then on 22, that's just Ned Bowman.
Ned, that's where the name was.
where
Okay.
it says,
Instead of Will, it should be Wild.
oh, okay.
And then Ned down here also, number 22, Ned Bond. Number 18, Noah Schmidt is curious about the sidewalk. He images the entrance to the property should be maintained by property owners, etc. So it's just a slight grammar twist. So 18.
How far down is it?
He said
Number
on number
18.
18.
Okay.
So he images the entrance to the property should be maintained.
So,
Imagines?
Imagines.
Imagines.
Okay. Anyone have anything else on page 6? Okay. And anyone have anything on page 7?
Yeah, there's 3 times it says Bond again. It should be Bowen, all 3 times.
Oh, okay.
Number 23, Nicole Duquette confirms it will be on top of the infiltration trenches. I believe on top should be 2 words?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, she's got to change it.
I'll make a motion, we accept him as corrected.
Second. Any discussion?
Who seconded it?
I did.
Okay.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
What were you doing here?
And just for your, for the DRB members, there is a bi-weekly update, letters from the MIT. But other than that, I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Thank you very much for joining us, folks. Have a great night.